Hello, welcome to the channel, Isle of Avalon. My name is Sienna, and today I will be doing a channeled collective message. If you are new or returning, welcome. I'm very grateful to have you here. And I would also like to thank everyone who left me a donation. It is greatly appreciated. We will begin. Let me see here. All right, we're going to do the Crow Tarot. We're going to see what comes through. If you've been watching me for a while, you know that I always just kind of start the video and wing it from there. I think that it helps with the authenticity of the reading. Is it authenticity I'm thinking of? I feel like there's a better word for it, but whatever it is. That's what I'm going for. Anyways, so I like to leave things in the moment, right? And I think one of the main lessons I've been taught or I have learned on my spiritual journey is the importance of staying in the moment and not thinking too far ahead into the past or into the future or too far behind into the past, right? Because it's easy for us to linger there so that we can escape our present reality. And then it also, I don't want to say helps us, but it's almost like we start to run away from our problems or not live our lives, right? Because if you're always thinking ahead or planning for the future or always dwelling on the past, how are you living, right? How are you enjoying life? How are you enjoying yourself or enjoying the experience of all that is, right? And so I think it's very important to do that. And even when I do my channel or when I do these readings, I pretty much have a simple box where all my tarot cards are. I pick it up, bring it over here, and I have the table, and I just fold it out and start recording. And sometimes I even notice that my camera, it'll just start on me when I'm totally not even ready yet. And I don't do a lot of preparation. So it's pretty fascinating. And definitely it's good confirmation that I'm doing the right thing. Anyways, so we're going to begin with the Crow Tarot, and I usually don't use standard tarot decks, but this one I do use. Now, I've shuffled it a few times on the Devil card. And so the fact that I felt the need to discuss or talk about living in the moment and not thinking too much ahead into the future, too far into the past, this could probably be a habit that you have struggled with, right? Because we all do it, right? We're always trying to plan ahead for something. It can even be as simple as, okay, the holidays are coming up, right? So you want to make sure that you're planning your gifts and making sure you have enough money to do this or go visit your family. Maybe they live a long distance away. Maybe you're always thinking about that. Maybe you're so busy planning for the future. Maybe you're holding off on a lot of things that you want to do because you're doing so much planning that you're not actually taking the steps towards it, right? And so that is why living in the moment and being in the moment is so important, not even on a spiritual path, but just on your life path, right? And so this comes up because if you look at the Devil card, right? And it's not an evil card, okay? And I just want to say too, like, it's only there if you acknowledge it. So just don't. It's really that simple. Okay. And so with this card, you have this bird, this crow, right? Wearing this mask. And if you think about it, the horns are a symbol of power or usually protection, right? I know in a lot of cultures, these are symbols of protection. 444 on the timer. And so when you have this symbol of protection, it's like you're wearing this mask to protect yourself, or you're wearing something or doing something or holding on to something that you think is beneficial to you, or something you may just not want to let go of or change, right? And that is this mask that you're wearing. And it's like there's this bird over here already flying and stuff, and you see here, if this represents you, right? There's nothing restraining you or keeping you from flying away. It's literally just the fact that you're still sitting on this thing that has been long gone, long long overdue for a release, right? It's obviously not a working and operating heart, right? It's been discarded already, right? Even by the rest of the world, and it may even be waiting for you to discard it, right? So this could be old habits or patterns or parts of yourself that maybe you're not really quite ready yet to let go of, and that's okay. But what also isn't okay is not admitting when you know that there's something that is keeping you stuck in a pattern or a process or around people or at a place that you know isn't good for you or isn't serving you, right? And so with that card, this bird, this crow, isn't even chained down to anything, and it doesn't even realize it. It doesn't even realize it. You can even think of this as there are thoughts weighing down so much on this bird that it can't even see that it's not chained down. It can't even see that it's okay to fly, and there's nothing blocking it from flying away. And this little bird here, it could be a friend or a family member. It could be an aspect of yourself. It could be maybe your spirit guides. It could be God, whatever it is to you. Could be trying to say, hey, you can just let go. You can just fly away. You can just stop thinking this way, or you could stop planning ahead and live in the moment, or whatever that is to you, right? And now I've just got this deck, and I keep getting urged to pull a shadow. So we are, because I don't really want to tell the rest of the story yet until I pull one of these. So we're going to see what's going on here. Okay. Spirit, can you tell me more about this aspect of the shadow? Oh, and you know what I didn't say? Okay, so I feel that whoever I'm speaking to, you have been doing a lot of shadow work, and you've been so into your shadow work. You've learned a lot, and you've built strength from doing that, right? And you're standing on top of everything that you have conquered, and you're like, okay, now what? Now I am the top dog, right? Now I have done everything that I need to do. Now what? You're sitting there in this desolate land of all the things that you've accomplished, and you're like, now what? What's next? And well, the light, right? Spirit, a new thing, a new person, a new place, a new job, a new venture, a new hobby. Something is pulling at you and saying, hey, you can like step out of that now. You don't have to be this big bad wolf anymore. You've already conquered, right? You've already conquered this thing, this beast, right? You've already conquered those aspects of your shadow that you needed to work on, or those aspects of yourself, however you want to look at it. You've already conquered everything you need to conquer. And this little birdie here, I'm seeing it as like not even in a light or dark sense, but like parts of yourself, like your inner child, that's saying, hey, let's go play now. Hey, let's go play, right? Let's have fun. Let's enjoy life. Let's enjoy ourselves. We can get out of this survival mode, because there's so much red here. It's like there's so much survival and need to survive and be rooted and stable, that we're not really seeing that we can kind of relax a little bit, right? And so now, what is it that collective shadow needs recognized the most? What is it that collective shadow needs recognized the most? What is it that collective shadow needs recognized the most? Okay, I'm going to leave that there. Okay, so this one really came out. Okay, so I know it's a little strange, but this is coming out, and the thing is like, you should never ignore any part of yourself, even your darkness, even those parts of yourself that you don't show to everybody or you don't let everyone see, especially your most maybe darker aggressive thoughts, right? And that's not to say to act on everything that you think, but don't ever deny any part of yourself, okay? Because everybody has it. Everybody has thoughts. If people are frustrating you, sometimes, you think about stuff, right? You think about stuff that you wouldn't actually do to them or around them or whatever, do about it, right? But sometimes that thought does cross your head, and it's natural for all of us to feel that way because we all have this deep sense or this deep urge to want to fight back, right? We want to fight back. We want to be strong. We want to. The way that the universe just works is that there is one force going this way and another force going this way, and it can get as simple or more complicated, right? And that's why, there's war everywhere, or there's this whole light and dark battle, or there's weeds and grass, or whatever. It's everywhere because it's literally just how it works. Okay, I don't know why, just what it is. We would get bored without it, right? And so what the shadow, okay, this is aspects of yourself, is saying here. I hope I will see you again sometime. And I don't know if you can read that right. But we've got in this dark space in these shadow cards, it's like there's a little bit of light unfolding, right? And I think it's really beautiful here because your shadow still hopes that you're happy, like you're that part of yourself, right? We're not even going to put it like that, but really that part of yourself that you hide or don't want to acknowledge or would like to change or want to ignore, those deepest, darkest parts of yourselves that maybe sometimes you want to react angrily or aggressively or physically to some things and you choose not to, right? It's not literally ignoring it or trying to say something is wrong with it. It's literally just saying, hey, this is how I feel. This is how I feel. And this is how you say, hey, shadow, like this is my shadow. This is my side that I choose to put on the back burner, right? For a good reason, right? And that's a good thing. It's healthy to do that, right? And that is why we say, or that part of ourself says, I hope I will see you again sometime, because you can't split yourself apart and you are everything. Okay, you're all of the great and amazing and wonderful things about yourself. And you're also all of those parts of yourself that you would never share with anybody, or all of your deepest, darkest secrets, all of your deepest, darkest desires. Listen, I don't care who you are. Everyone has them. Everyone has them. Everyone thinks, everyone has things that they don't share with the world or they would never tell anybody, right? And that's not for you to tell everybody, right? But it's also not for you to lie to yourself and try to bury within yourself, because that is how you end up with explosive behavior, right? Toxic behavior, toxic thought patterns, depression, all of those things that is really, in the most basic sense, an outburst of things that we repress within ourselves, right? And when you don't repress any part of yourself, and that doesn't mean you go act crazy or act out or do crazy things or hurt people or hurt yourself, right? But it does mean that you acknowledge that sometimes you feel a way that you don't always feel, and you acknowledge it and then you let it go. That is the integration of the shadow self and the self. Maybe it's just the self, right? It's not this split apart nonsense that everyone says it is. It's literally just who you are. And you don't have to think that there's anything wrong with you, because you know and understand that you have a shadow, right? And so, with that, let's see here. I'm in the mood for a crystal, but I don't really think that applies here. We need some angels to balance it out. Okay, here we go. And that's the thing, like a spiritual journey, it's all about balance. Okay, there's no us against them or them against us, or, you know, it's literally everything just is. Okay. So, with that being said, Spirit, Most High, what angel or angels or advice do you have to send our way? We have Raziel. And it's interesting because it's almost like there's a puzzle on his chest, right? And it's filled with all these different colors. And I feel like that's very symbolic, and like all the different parts of yourselves that are being integrated into you being the one. And it's almost like, you see how this like lightning bolt is like beaming down into his head, and like there's this puzzle here and all of this stuff, right? And there's a lot of purple here, and I've got purple in my background. So that's interesting. And so with that, it's like this hang on, it's like this book of knowledge, right? This book of knowledge of the self, of the shadow, of every part of yourself that has to be integrated into make you one and whole again. It's like this is your personal power. This is you just being yourself, right? This is mastery. This is self-mastery, right? And so we're going to check out from the book as well here. And I just got some ringing in my ear. So that's definitely something about alignment. And it's interesting because the theme of this reading is alignment, right? Mystery, right? And when you are in a place where you can't see very much, right? Because in these cards, you can't see very much. And then in this reading as well, right? The crow, which is representative of you collective, right, is wearing a mask. And I almost want to say a helmet, right? Because when the shadow is not integrated with every part of yourself, isn't integrated and accepted and aligned, you're at war, not only with the rest of the world or your surroundings, but with yourself within, right? And how can you be aligned? How can you be aligned? How can you be wise? How can you be in tune with the divine and with all that is, with everything, with the world, with the earth, with nature, everything that's good for you? How can you be in tune and in touch when you're fighting yourself, when you're fighting your shadow, when you're fighting who you are or what you want or whatever it is? But this is a lot of internal stuff that needs to be worked out. And it seems that you have already been doing so. And so with this comes this angel of knowledge and mystery, right? It is about learning ancient teachings and ancient methods, right? And gaining wisdom and knowledge on how to bring yourself into alignment, how to grow spiritually, how to evolve, how to be a better person, right? And it's like that's how, I just want to read off of this, okay? Be open to magic and mystery. Pay close attention to signs and symbols. If you have drawn this card, you may be experiencing an awakening or a deepening of your gifts. So when we when we fly away from this conflicting with parts of ourselves, with the self-inner conflict, and even conflict with the rest of the world, and thinking it's like this us against them or constant war, battle, struggle, it's bullshit, okay? When you transcend beyond that way of thinking and that method of living and existing, and you're out of survival mode, then you can be wise, and then you can be a master of yourself, and then maybe even a master of reality or the universe, or esoteric concepts or healing or whatever it is you want to use it for. But you cannot unlock things like this unless you are going to use it for good, right? You cannot go higher if you are not at the capacity to do so. And you cannot be at the capacity to do so if you do not have pure intentions for why you would like to go there, right? And so if you've made it this far in this message, it seems to be maybe even a spiritual confliction on taking a different path, right? Especially if you've been raised a certain way with a certain belief system, it might be hard for you to learn new things, gain this esoteric knowledge. But the thing is, there is, I want to say in a modern sense, there's quite a lack of understanding, and there's a lot of fear behind learning new things. And of course there is, right? Because everything isn't butterflies and rainbows, but at the same time, you should never let that stop you from doing something that's going to make your life better, right? And I think this is really nice that it's turned into an angel message. And so I think I will leave it there. But one thing that I also want to mention is that maybe you working more with whatever path working, it doesn't even have to be the angelic realm, right? But if you feel called to a certain spiritual belief or culture, it is okay to explore that. Like, it's okay. Okay. Um, you may have been here before or a few times and been all over the place, you know, and there's nothing wrong with you learning about that or reconnecting to it, right? And I think it's like the angels are even here to say, like, hey, whatever that thing is you've been thinking about, it's all right, you know, or whatever these strange thoughts or conflicting, whatever it is, it's conflicting inside of you, it's all right, okay? It's you who has to remind yourself that you're all right, okay? And if you ever feel like you're not okay, you can definitely trust the angels, right? Because they mean us no harm. None of them do. So if you've ever been questioning that, this is definitely your confirmation. Go for it, okay? That new spiritual path, that new teaching, that new healing modality, or that new occult practice, especially if it's nature-based, or really any of them, because they're connecting to the universe. And that's part of our evolution. It's what we need to do as humans. Like, we have to. And so we're getting called to do this because it's literally them. It's literally them, the angelic realm, the galactic federation, or whatever it is you resonate with. They're giving us this insight and these ideas and this inspiration to connect to them and connect to these frequencies for our own evolution, right? It's a good thing, okay? And I think I'll leave it at that. So if this resonates with you, if you'd like to leave me a donation or book a person with me, if you'd like to dive deeper on this subject or any subject, really, I am available whenever you schedule, most likely. So I appreciate you watching my videos, and I appreciate your donations and the positive feedback. It means so much to me. Okay. Blessed be.